And so we want to get started and just see what questions you might have for the panelists. Yes, right up here.
Thank you. I have a question for Matt. When you mentioned the unlimited time off at Golin, how much of that is paid versus unpaid? I was just curious about that.
How much of the unlimited time off is paid versus unpaid? It's all paid. There's not. That's the point. Is our employees are given the option to take whatever time off they need to balance their work and their lives. This is me making a broad generalization, but I think because of the age of our workforce, we anticipated that people would just head out the door. So if you think of productivity as a chart, when we launched limited time off, we knew full well that productivity would go down this way. But we are definitely up here now. And it's because it's taken time for us to find that balance. But the productivity and the creativity and the passion behind the work of our employees has tripled significantly.
There clearly is a relationship between everything we've been talking about and healthcare costs. I'm wondering if any of you are tracking that in your companies. Like, have you tried to make the business case from a healthcare cost perspective?
Not surprisingly, we do pay a lot of attention to our healthcare costs, and we're very proud of our healthcare program. It's called a Cadillac program, so we pay 100% of everybody's medical at Bloomberg. But then we ask, in exchange for that payment, we ask everybody to go through a biometric assessment once a year, and that allows us to get ahead of certain illnesses. We uncover certain things in that help us work with people who catch illness early on, but it also allows us to track our wellness programs, our success over time. So if we see that the wellness of our population is actually improving through these biometrics, well, we know we're onto something, and we know that it'll take many years to see that on the back end with the expenses. We're tracking expenses now, but it'll take many, many years for us to show that number come down, but we know that it's all related. So if we can do it on the front end, get a handle on like how people are doing physically in the front end, we can then track, and then we should see both ultimately improving over time.
But I was thinking about, do you have a diversity professional or a group of professionals that help when you're looking at this? And have you seen bias play a role at all as you're rolling these programs out?
Fair, how's it? Fair doesn't mean equal. There's some saying around that, and we took that as a headline for a full day all hands workshop, and we said what is WorkFlex for you, and how does it manifest itself, and we put everything on the table. Someone who wanted to take a long break to go to the gym, to someone saying I want a compressed work week. I said everything is possible, just put it out there, and then they were shocked when I said, well, and then let's shape agreements out of this. And we came out with an agreement of 20% WorkFlex is standard. They couldn't believe it. Like, really? I can take one day a week where I can work for wherever? And I said, no, you could do 20% all in one block.
I wondered if each of the panelists might be able to speak to how they are modifying job descriptions to more appropriately and accurately capture the new employment contract that you referenced earlier, in the name of more accurately characterizing the work that you are asking people to do and the cultures of your companies in this sort of spirit, in the spirit of the conference.
I think it's two issues. The work itself, for the most part, from a job description that we're asking people to do is the same. It's how we ask them to deliver it that's different. So it's more the cultural. So I would say 10 years ago for somebody, and it's an accounting firm, it's very standard, consulting. If you wanted to go on a flexible arrangement, you had to fill out what they called an alternative work arrangement, AWA we called it. And it had to be signed, and it had to be for 6 months, and it had to be renewed every 6 months. And there was so much formality into that type of program. And in today's culture, it's different. I mean, the world has changed. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, everyone didn't have Wi-Fi. We used to get, it was just a very different environment. So I just think it's happening. I don't think we have documented it from a job description. I think we're documenting it from the type of competencies and capabilities that we expect people to have.